The ring was in his pocket. Israel embassy staffers shot dead in US where Akulithi were young, in love, and on the verge of a new beginning. What was meant to be a quiet moment of joy, a surprise marriage proposal in Jerusalem, will now remain a haunting what-if, after 2 Israeli embassy employees were fatally shot outside the U.S. Capitol Jewish Museum in what authorities called an anti-Semitic attack. The victims, a man and a woman in their late 20s, were more than diplomatic staffers. They were partners, soulmates, and as it turns out, just days away from an engagement that had been months in the making. Both the victims, whose names have not yet been officially released pending family notification, were described by Israeli officials as bright, committed young professionals. Israeli ambassador to the United States, Yechiel Leiter, revealed in a statement that the male victim had purchased an engagement ring just days earlier and had planned to propose to his partner in Jerusalem next week. He wanted it to be perfect, Leiter said in a statement, adding that he had spoken to friends, bought the ring this week, and was going to ask her to marry him during their trip home. This was not just an attack on our people, but an attack on hope and love, said a visibly shaken Leiter. The couple had reportedly met while training for diplomatic service and had been inseparable since. Colleagues at the Israeli embassy described them as devoted not only to their work but to each other, often seen sharing lunch breaks and late-night strategy meetings during tense diplomatic moments. What began as professional camaraderie blossomed into a deep, enduring relationship that many assumed would end in marriage. But now, instead of wedding preparations, both families are facing the unbearable task of planning funerals. They shared dreams of building a life together in Israel, one filled with purpose, travel, and family. They represented the best of us, said one embassy staffer, fighting back tears. But all of that came to a halt outside the Capitol Jewish Museum, where 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago allegedly opened fire on a group that included the couple. Police say Rodriguez was overheard shouting "Free, Free Palestine" during his arrest, raising early concerns about a politically motivated hate crime, possibly connected to the global reverberations of the Israel-Palestine conflict. Authorities insist there is no ongoing threat to the Jewish community, but for those who knew the victims, the damage is already incalculable. Israeli President Isaac Herzog called the killings a despicable act of hatred, and noted that the embassy community was deeply shaken with the incident. This is an unbearable loss for the Israeli diplomatic family and our prayers are with the loved ones of those who were murdered, he stated. US President Donald Trump also weighed in on the tragedy early Wednesday morning, posting a message on his social media platform: "These horrible DC killings, based obviously on anti-Semitism, must end, now. Hatred and radicalism have no place in the USA. Condolences to the families of the victims. So sad that such things as this can happen. God bless you all. These horrible DC killings, based obviously on anti-Semitism, must end, now. Hatred and radicalism have no place in the USA. Condolences to the families of the victims. So sad that such things as this can happen. God bless you all." President Donald J. Trump pic. Twitter.com Z30 Jacobs. The White House May 22, 2025. The FBI, along with federal and local police, continues to investigate the attack, focusing on Rodriguez's movements and possible online activity in the days leading up to the shooting. Authorities say the suspect had been loitering near the museum earlier in the day, raising questions about premeditation. Swipe left for next video. The Capitol Jewish Museum, a landmark celebrating Jewish heritage and resilience, was placed on lockdown in the immediate aftermath, though no other injuries were reported. Community leaders have since held vigils near the site, calling for unity in the face of rising political and religious tensions. As US reels from the attack, global leaders and citizens alike mourn not only a diplomatic loss but the silencing of 2 young lives poised for a joyful new chapter. The embassy has lowered its flags to half-staff, and a memorial service is being planned in coordination with the victims' families. Latest blogs.